Well, howdy partners, it's your old buddy the Reddit Rider, and welcome back to the Reddit Ranch. Why don't y'all come in and sit a spell, 'cause I got some mighty fine tales to tell. Like our first story of the day. It's from a little lady that is wondering what's more important, helping your sister or going on your dream vacation. I guess that would depend on what kind of sister you have.
AITA for refusing to take in my sister's kids after her partner had a stroke so that I can go on my planned vacation? I'm 26, and my sister is 30. She called me yesterday morning to tell me that her partner, who's 45, had been rushed to the hospital. She was in hysterics, and I stayed on the phone with her until she was able to make it to the hospital. She works and her partner stays home with the kids. I do believe he's on some sort of disability/unemployment benefit though. Together, they have 3 kids who are 7, 5, and 2. Here's some background on me and my sister. We had actually not spoken for almost an entire year before her most recent call to me. We have a really strained relationship starting from our childhood, which was exacerbated by our parents. I'll be honest in saying that my parents always favored me and labeled my sister as a problem child. Since her teens, she's been involved with heavy stuff use and partying. She graduated high school but dropped out of community college. Our strict, traditional Asian parents shunned her from their lives after she dropped out of college. They effectively disowned her and pretended that they never had an older daughter. My parents haven't spoken a word to her in almost a decade, and they have never met their grandchildren. For the last decade, I've tried to maintain a positive relationship with my sister, but she's betrayed my trust too many times to count. Borrowing money and never returning it, stealing my items, and pawning/selling them, bringing me into unnecessary drama in her life, etc. To be honest, I've been trying to distance myself from her for the last 3 to 4 years since she's caused me nothing but pain, stress, and suffering. Then last night, she called me again to let me know that her partner had suffered a severe stroke and had emergency surgery. The doctors say they are still very unsure of his prognosis. She then begged me to take in her children for the time being, saying how she can't afford any childcare and that she'll lose both her jobs if she's forced to stay with the children. Now here's the thing, me and my boyfriend's 5-year anniversary is coming up. We've already bought tickets, requested PTO, and made accommodations for a 2-week trip to Europe starting from this Friday. The total trip, including airfare, cost us $18,000, most of which is non-refundable. I told my sister I'd call her back and let her know after I spoke with my boyfriend. He said it was my choice completely. I decided that I wanted to go on our anniversary trip, which I had been looking forward to for a full year. I called my sister back and told her that I couldn't because of our trip. She started sobbing over the phone and lashed out at me, calling me cruel and selfish. She said that we could afford to just rebook our vacation and we didn't need that money back, but she was going to lose her job and her children if she couldn't find someone to take them in. It was a really tough conversation, but I stuck with my decision. It's been almost a day since our call, and I won't lie, I do feel a lot of guilt. AITA?
No ma'am, you ain't a varmint. For one, you said that you haven't spoken to her in like a year, then out of the blue, she wants to drop her 3 youngings off on your doorstep? Considering that you're pretty much a stranger to these kids, it does not sound like the best of plans. And 2, are you sure she's even telling the truth? I mean, she may have made the whole story up just to get some alone time with her partner. Not to mention, you already have plans that are set in stone and can't be changed. Her not having childcare may be a problem, but it ain't your problem. Go, enjoy your anniversary getaway guilt-free. Well now, what do y'all think partners? Should she give up her dream vacation and watch her sister's youngings or not? What choice would you make? Let me know. Our next story was posted by a tenderfoot that has a wife that just can't get ready on time, for anything, so he sorta drove off without her. Well now, if he actually returns home then I reckon he's braver than I am.
AITA for driving away without my wife because she can't plan? For the past week, my wife and I had been anticipating a baseball game for which we had purchased tickets. We like baseball, but we don't attend many games, so traveling into the city to see games is a rare treat. I know, though, that it would take time to drive there and find parking, due to traffic. Because the game started at 7 p.m., and we live about 45 minutes from the stadium, I told her this morning that she needed to be ready to get in the car and go by 6 p.m. Well, my wife is an avid gamer, so she was engrossed in her latest video game when the clock struck 5:45 p.m. She has struggled to plan in the past, and I get tired of reminding her that she needs to budget time to get ready. It's as if she has no concept of time at all, similar to a young child. Well, I was ready to go by 6 p.m., and she was in the bathroom. I saw this as an opportunity to teach her personal responsibility, so I simply left the house without saying a word, got in the car, and started driving to the game. It took my wife a few minutes to figure out what I had done, but when she called me, she was absolutely furious. She said that it was a completely unacceptable move for me to leave without telling her and that she now had no way to get to the game without paying for parking. I told her that I got tired of constantly waiting for her and that she would plan better next time if she didn't want to get left behind. I also reminded her that I had told her that morning when I expected her to be ready to leave. Absolutely none of this seemed to matter, though, and she rudely hung up on me after yelling out more insults. Frankly, I think it's completely insane that a grown woman is unable to budget her time. I'm starting to suspect that she is doing this on purpose because she's a narcissist who expects me to accommodate her. After all, she's not a dumb woman. She has a science degree. Well, she never showed up to the stadium, and I didn't hear from her the whole game, but when I got home, there was a note on the door. She told me that I wasn't welcome in the bedroom and that I should sleep on the couch. I can't believe she wants to be this much of a pill. If I had waited for her, I would have missed the first pitch. I made my expectations clear, and she couldn't be bothered to meet them. I feel like she should be apologizing to me. AITA?
Wait a second, partner. You took off to the game without her, making her miss the game, and she still allowed you to sleep on your couch? Wow, if I had done that, I'd be lucky if she allowed me to sleep in the van. Now, I want you to understand, I do see where you're coming from. I mean, no one likes being late, but taking off without your wife is a bit over the top. My advice? Next time try changing your departure time, 15 to 30 minutes. After all, there is no such thing as being too early. There is, however, such a thing as being too late. Oh yeah, by the way, you're a real varmint, for taking off without her. Well now, partners, what do y'all think of his solution? Is it what you would have done? Or can you come up with something better? Let me know down in their comments. Next we have one written by a young gent that meets the perfect filly, then dumps her. That's how he tells her that he likes her? I reckon I would have just given her some flowers or chocolates.
AITA for ending things with a girl because she was sleeping with other people even though it was before we were exclusive? I'm 32, and I am fairly happy with the life I'd built for myself. My career, hobbies, and platonic relationships are more than enough to keep me happy, and I don't actively look for relationships or partners even though I do hope to get married someday. Of course, sometimes people do come into my life, and we date or sleep together, but it's not an obsession like I see with most of my friends. Then I met Helen, who's 28, at a party through mutual friends, and we really hit it off. I asked her out and we had a great first date and ended up sleeping together. Things seemed to move relatively quickly from there. We saw each other about 5 times in the span of 2 weeks after our first date, all the while texting and even having an occasional phone call. I won't lie, I felt like I was falling pretty hard for this girl. She was everything I could have imagined wanting in a life partner: intelligent, independent, passionate, and kind, not to mention gorgeous. Well, it all went south last week when she asked me if I was seeing anyone else. I told her of course not and that I don't sleep with multiple people at the same time. But then I wondered about her, and she told me she had been seeing 2 other guys, but she wanted to be exclusive with me. I asked her if she had been sleeping with them and she said yes. She had even slept with both of them at least once since we started dating. Once I gathered my thoughts, I told her I didn't want to see her anymore. Here I thought the feeling was reciprocated, but I found out I was just one of a few items on the menu for her. She started to get upset and told me that since we hadn't discussed exclusivity, she didn't know me anything and that it was the whole point of this discussion. I told her that while she didn't know me the fact that she didn't stop seeing those other guys on her own volition showed that either she didn't feel the same way about me as I did about her, or we have totally different ideas around intimacy. She said she had dated so many guys in the past who wouldn't commit, so she didn't want to end up alone if I wouldn't be exclusive. I could feel the hurt she had gone through when she said this, but I guess I don't understand. Why keep around casual partners if you want something serious? If she wasn't willing to take a risk for me and potentially get hurt because of her past experiences, I don't want to play the role of intimacy therapist. I didn't say this part to her though. So I told her my mind was made up and she left in tears. Anyway, my friends have pretty much dogpiled on me after hearing about it. They told me I was an AH and brought up a bunch of talking points about feminism and shaming. It seemed pretty unfair since I never tried to make Helen feel bad about herself. I just didn't think we were compatible, and it seemed better to end it then and there.
Well now, you ain't none too bright, are you, partner? And I'm sorry, but you're a varmint. Now, I've never been one for playing the field myself, but I do understand others doing it. But, if there ain't no agreement for you two to be exclusive, then there ain't no true betrayal. And the thing you overlooked is that she was dating you and two other guys, trying to decide who she wanted to be exclusive with, and she ended up picking you. And how do you repay her? By kicking her to the curb. Nice going. Well now, what do y'all reckon is wrong with that guy? He tears that poor girl's heart out, then actually needs to ask if he's a varmint. But, what do y'all think? Do you think she dodged a bullet, or do you agree with him? Let me know your thoughts. Our last story is from a young lady who is about 7 months pregnant, and her fiancé decides now is a good time to dump her. Wow, he sounds like a winner, don't he?
My fiancé broke up with me, and I am 7 months pregnant. My fiancé and I are both 25. To keep things short, my fiancé of 3 years, together for 12 years total, and I decided at the end of last year to start trying for a baby. We were ready. Steady jobs and bought our first house together at 21. A couple months passed and nothing. I found out I was pregnant in April. Ever since, things have been good, and he seemed excited. We are having a boy, which is what he wanted. Recently, he has been depressed and just explained it as he doesn't know how his life goes up from here. We accomplished everything too fast, and he doesn't know what he can do next. He wants to leave everything behind and start a new life. Including me. Last weekend, we talked, and he basically said he is no longer happy with me and hasn't been for a year. He wants to break up to see if he will miss me and regret it. He does not know how long he wants this break to be, but I am 7 months pregnant and don't have much time left for him to decide what he wants. I feel like a failure. We are currently sleeping in separate rooms and not really speaking at the moment other than passing by in the kitchen. What do I do? How long do I give him? How could he do this to me when I am in my most vulnerable state? Edit to say we were trying for a baby, we both wanted it.
Oh Lord Almighty, what did I just read? Look ma'am, there is a failure here, but it's not on you, it's on him. He wants to know where his life goes from here. He becomes a father, which, take it from me, is truly the greatest of all adventures a man could want. In all likelihood, he's probably bored of the relationship, and he wants to see what's out there. His whole line about how he wants to see if he misses you or regrets it is total horsepucky. But if he does leave, then don't take him back, because he'll just do it again. You may even truly believe you love him, but remember, love may be blind, but it doesn't have to be stupid. Just get a lawyer, so you can get child support. Wow, I hope I'm wrong, but he does kinda sound like a deadbeat dad in the making, doesn't he? What do y'all think, partners? Should she take him back, if he comes back that is, or should she gear herself up to be a single mother? Tell me what y'all think down below. Well partners, I do plumb reckon that it's time for this good old boy to ride off into the sunset. But if y'all enjoyed y'all's time at the Reddit Ranch, then I'd thank y'all kindly to hit like and subscribe. It'll really make this old cowboy smile. Until the next time we meet, adios.